welcome back to LatinXLearners. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Daniel.
And we are so excited to have you here today for our
56th
episode, Season 2. Today we're bringing you a short video on a pretty heavy topic that we just stumbled upon a few minutes ago. And sometimes that's the best way that an idea can come to you, is by accident. The idea has to do with motivation and how we go about our days and how we prepare for our days and how we stay grounded. And so I'm going to ask Daniel a couple of questions. So just humor me, go along with me as I ask him these questions, and we'll take you where we want to take you at the end. So Daniel, tell me about your day, a day in the life of a university associate vice president.
Well, I think it's complex. It's challenging. It is tiring. It is fun, but most often it's most rewarding, right? But when I look at my day, it intertwines between personal and professional, right? But it also really never ends in either way.
So
right?
Give me an example of what your day was like.
So I woke up. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. I went to the gym. I did my 45-minute spin class. I came home. I got ready. I got Diego ready. Got him prepared for school. Got him out with his mom, my wife, out to school. Drove in. Traffic was pretty okay today, so it only took me an hour and 20 minutes.
All over Houston. Thank you, Houston.
Houston's an hour away from Houston.
Exactly.
So drove in. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes, which is a good day. Came in. I had a 8:30 meeting over student information system. Led that meeting from 8:30 to 10. Did a graduation processing meeting from 10:30 to noon.
Halfway
through. Met with our IT analyst and our associate registrar for lunch meeting. Did not eat. So 12 to 1:30 did that. 1:30 to 2 packed my stuff for my trip tomorrow. Printed all the documentation that I needed.
Okay.
Drove to NRG. Met a committee at NRG. Toured the NRG arena.
Ya me cansaste.
Interacted with NRG to figure out where we're going to do commencement, and then drove here to meet you. And then after this, I'll finish this. I'll drive back home, which it'll probably be late in the evening. It'll take me an hour and 15 minutes to get home. And then I'll need to pack and get ready for tomorrow.
And you're going where tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning I have to leave the house about 5 to be at the news station about 5:45 to do a morning segment on a local news station over financial aid for Hispanic students. I'll do that. After that, I'll take an Uber from Fox to Hobby Airport.
Okay.
Get in the airplane, all goes well, and then fly out to Chicago to start my first presidential fellow seminar at 6:30 p.m. in Chicago.
So let me break this down real quick. Professionals, fellow, for our colleagues, this does not sound unusual, does it? This is the day. This is the grind. This is how it is. Students, you probably tuned out about noon when he said that he didn't have lunch during the lunch meeting. That's not uncommon. And for all of us who have families, I think we honed in on the idea that, you got Diego ready for school and that you're going to go home tonight and then you're going on a trip. And so I think there are certain things that stick with us. And for me, just the idea that you did those little things, to me, that's staying grounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
How about you? How does your day? I mean, is it relatively the same?
It's pretty much the same, except I'm in the classroom all day. But same thing, get up at 5, sit by myself, have some quiet, and then the day starts. Get the kids to school, all 3, get the dogs fed, all of that stuff. And then once I get into the classroom, I think we all know what that's like. It's like time almost stands still. It's this perfect preserved moment of just you and your students. It's my church, really. I really enjoy it. But it's just a lot of work.
It is. People don't realize teaching good teaching.
Mhm.
They're regular teaching, but good teaching really can take it out of you. I mean, it's a performance.
It is,
right?
but
You're on stage, and
I do a lot of workshop type teaching, so I'm there with them as they're writing, as they're thinking. I'm not the kind that kind of sits back, and so it's exhausting. 2 long classes today, and then my memory is failing me. I think I went to a meeting, maybe, yes, I went to a meeting, and then I picked up the kids, and then I went home to get my camera, and then I came here to meet you. So, and that's pretty much every day. So the question is, how do we stay motivated when we're not just first-gen students? That's how we connect with all of you, right?
Yeah.
Not just Latinx, not just Latino and Latina. We're first-gen professionals.
Wow.
We are the first in our families to be at this level.
To be a professional.
Is there anybody else in your family
No.
who's an associate vice president at a major university?
And it's a lonely feeling, right? When I was telling Diego that I was going to be gone, right?
Mhm.
He's obsessed with dates, calendars, all of that, right? So when I told him I was going to be gone, I said to him, I'm going to be gone from this date to this date, which is an extended period.
Mhm.
And, he looked at the calendar and he was like, wow, you're going to get on an airplane. First thing you want to know is, what room number are you going to be in, right? I don't know, Mijo, I'll text you when I get there, right? But my dad never had to leave for an extended period of time, right? Maybe his dad in the micro fields might have between, my dad staying back and his dad going away for periods of time.
Right.
But certainly not my dad.
And do you remember the first time you had to go away?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
It's scary, right?
It's very scary. I talked to my students about this today. Imposter syndrome doesn't exactly go away. You just learn how to manage it better because everyone experiences it to some degree. But
yeah, I do. I was reading the bios of everybody I'm going to be with this week, and I'm thinking, why did they choose me? Like, are they sure?
Porque eres el mero mero, Daniel.
Are they sure that they want me to come?
They're
But
positive. But yes, we have that feeling.
Yeah, and those are okay.
And so staying motivated involves facing your fears, I think. And it involves looking at those bios and saying to yourself, I deserve to be here too. I deserve to have a place at this table.
Yeah.
But what else motivates you?
Well, in terms of professional work, it's the students.
Mhm.
I was in several meetings this week at which we're talking fundamentally about processes, procedures, and how they impact students. And so often, our process, procedures, and administration forget to look at it from students' perspective.
I understand
And for me, I was poor. I was first gen.
Mhm.
I struggled, and some of these decisions impacted me as a student.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking, if only they knew.
I know.
Right? And so for me, professionally, what drives me is to get the call that I just got before here. Right?
Oh,
The call from some anonymous donor who calls me and says, I want you to identify students who missed their payment, and I want a list of those payments so I can make those today. Right? That is what motivates me and really gives me the drive to continue because
you could be like that.
At the end of the day, I know that I'm in a role that really impacts students. Right?
Yeah.
And as I was interviewing a student this past week for a program, the student said to me that she had a devastating impact on her house for Harvey,
Mhm.
and that I found funding for her. Remember finding funding for her? Didn't remember interacting with her? And she said, you fundamentally changed my life.
Wow.
Right? And so I don't say that because I'm not a change agent.
No, of course
right?
not. It's to
But
remind
that
yourself.
is what keeps me motivated. That's why I say, let me go, let me venture off, let me take this trip, let me
Mhm.
see what it's like to be a president, right?
Right.
Because I can impact students on a grander scale one day.
So I want to wrap this up. What I hear you saying is that as professionals, as first-gen professionals, a subject that we're going to revisit with y'all soon, if we go back to the basics of why we were drawn to higher education, why we were drawn to serve others in the way that we do, we stay motivated and we stay grounded.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. So those of you who are professionals in the workplace right now and you've had a rough week or you're having a rough day, just go back into the classroom. Connect with a student. Stop somebody in the hallway and ask them how they're doing. Students, same thing for you. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And I think you'll find your motivation again. It's a daily struggle, but we're in it together.
I also think specific to this episode, it's important that our faculty, staff, and those students who are becoming professionals understand that the principle of this segment is to understand that as a first-generation college student, you're also a first-generation professional. And those feelings will never go away. You'll have to have those struggles, those challenges, just as you did as a student, as a professional.
You will. And we'll be here to help you along the way. So today's grito is an anonymous grito because we can't share who the special person was, but to the special individual who called Daniel today to ask who were the students who missed a payment because this person wanted to pay their bill so that they could continue coming to classes. We thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts.
That's what it's all about. That's all we have for you today.
Please like, subscribe, and share.